16th annual Orchard Lake Fine Art Show, brought to you by HotWorks. My name is Sheena Monnin, and I'm here today with
Tyler Kieft.
And we are very excited to be exploring some of the local and national artists that we have with us here today. Some of the most interesting works that we've seen so far include jewelry and pottery. And what else have you seen, Tyler, as we walked around?
There's a variety of original artwork. Everything here is handmade by the artist. Nothing is imported, nothing is sold. Everything is absolutely 100% original in a variety of artworks. There are paintings, there are sculptures, there's photography, and there's artists both youth and adult.
Yeah, that's what's so exciting. They also have a special youth program as well, which we can talk about a little bit later on this morning. When we were walking around, what large sculpture did you see that caught both of our eyes?
Well, this morning, as we were setting up our broadcast today, we had the pleasure of having very large boulders come through on forklifts, and we talked to the artists briefly about their rock sculptures, and they're actually a waterfall.
Isn't that interesting?
Yes,
I love seeing the pieces come together like that. It's been really fascinating to sort of understand the why, the inspiration behind these amazing works of art.
It really is, and you can see just by walking around briefly, just a brief walk around the art show, you can really see why you have some of the top 150, you have over 150 juried artists.
The jury artists, that's what makes it so special for sure. So for those watching, where are we located today, Tyler?
We are located off of Powers and Daly Road, just off of the brand new Orchard Lake Boulevard, Sheena.
Yes, we'd love to see you here. Entry is about $5 for adults. Lots of parking available as well, lots of food around, so it could be a really fun and fascinating day for you if you feel inclined to stop by. Once again, we're at the 16th annual Orchard Lake Fine Art Show. I'm Sheena Monnin along with Tyler Kieft, and we'll be back in just a moment.
Civic Center TV is your home for everything Greater West Bloomfield. Here you can tune into community programmings such as our weekly news magazine show, The Splash. The Splash covers positive stories in our community, such as our segment, Person of the Week, where we highlight someone in our community that is making a difference. We also cover events and meetings for Kego Harbor, Sylvan Lake, Orchard Lake, and West Bloomfield. You can watch all of our local programming online anytime at civiccentertv.com, Comcast Channel 15, and AT&T Channel 99. Civic Center TV, television that is close to home.
Hello and welcome to the 16th annual Orchard Lake Fine Art Show, brought to you today by HotWorks. I'm your host, Sheena Monnin, along with
Tyler Kieft.
And we are delighted to be here today. It's a gorgeous day. If you're in the area, do be sure to stop by. Sitting here with us today, we have a very special guest. His name is Scott. Scott, tell us a little bit about your studio, some of the artwork that you're involved in.
I work at Lawton Studios. It's a family-owned business. I'm the non-family member that works there. We do hot blown glass, working with molten materials up around 2,000 degrees.
2,000 degrees, that's impressive. Wow. So show us what you have here today. It's very intricately designed from what I can see. There's the glass vase, and then inside the glass, there's actual flowers. Are those glass as well?
Yep, it's all just different colors of glass that have kind of been sculpted into floral shapes while it's hot. So I'm taking layers of clear glass, sandwiching different colors between it, and then pulling them around into flower shapes.
That is just fascinating. Now, for those watching, you may not be able to tell, this is actually substantially heavy.
Yeah, this is about a 5-pound piece.
Yeah, you can lift weights with that.
Yeah, one thing that I've noticed about this piece is how thick it is. About how thick is the glass?
Probably 1.5 inches at the thickest part on this. I have some pieces that go up to 4 or 5 inches thick, and weigh 18, 20 pounds.
Are there any modifications in the process depending on the thickness of the glass?
Just how long it has to cool down. A piece like this can cool down overnight. Bigger, heavier piece takes 2 or 3 days.
Wow.
Wow, that's incredible. So what are some of the larger types of vases and pieces that you have?
At the show here, I've got some that are about 9 inches tall, up around $1,000.
Yeah.
Different colors of calla lilies are pretty much the decoration that I do in all my pieces.
Now, have you always been involved in this type of art, or when did you start?
I've been doing this for about 22 years now.
Okay. So you're kind of a pro at this point.
Yeah. So.
Very cool. That's exciting.
One of the things what really pops from this particular piece is bright colors and the flower, and the flower paintings on it. How do you paint the flowers into a piece like this when you're molding the glass as well?
Something like this, I'm actually taking hot glass out of the furnace, rolling it in different colors of crushed glass. So I'll have a little gob of white glass with different crushed glass on it. I'll snip off pieces onto the main body of the piece that I'm working on, mash them flat while it's hot, and then kind of pull it into a flower shape with a metal pick. So my main decorating tool is just a stick of metal that I use to stretch the glass around while it's hot.
And then the clear glass goes over it.
Yep,
how do you not remelt the flowers on the inside? Novice question over here, but
just not getting things overheated.
Okay.
As long as I keep my balance of heating and cooling right, everything kind of stays in place where it needs to be.
That's so exciting. Very cool.
All in all, about how long does it take to make a piece like this?
A piece like this takes around an hour.
Wow. That's faster
some of the
than
bigger
I
ones take
thought.
a couple hours. Well, hot glass, you can't put it down and come back to it after
yes, you
lunch.
can't
It's
take a
all going to be
break,
done
yeah.
in one shot. So, and the thing that takes the longest on these is really the reheating constantly to keep it soft enough to work with.
Is there any other place where people can find more information on this piece and on other pieces of yours?
We do have a website. It's lottonartglass.com, LOTTON Artglass, and that has more pictures of my stuff on there.
Wow, exciting. Well, thank you so much for being here with us today. We really do appreciate it. And once again, we are coming to you from the 16th Annual Orchard Lake Fine Art Show. Lots of exciting interviews and tips and tricks coming up. I'm your host, Sheena Monnin, along with Tyler Kieft. We'll be right back.
Do you know of an interesting story or someone who deserves to be recognized for doing amazing things in the greater West Bloomfield community? The segment Person of the Week off the weekly show, The Splash, is the perfect platform to highlight everyday people whose contributions to the community oftentimes go unnoticed. Here at Civic Center TV, we are always looking for new, exciting, and inspirational stories. If you know of someone, then contact us at thesplash@civiccentertv.com, and maybe someone you know will be our next Person of the Week.
Hello and welcome to the 16th Annual Orchard Lake Fine Art Show, brought to you by HotWorks. I'm your host, Sheena Monnin. I'm delighted to be here today on this beautiful morning. Amazing artistry, some music, food, etc. All of that is happening here today. I'm here with my host,
Tyler Kieft.
and we are excited to talk a little bit about the show, some of the features that we have here today, and the location where we are.
Yes, we are back in the traditional location, just off of Orchard Lake Boulevard on Powers and Daly Road. Last year, of course, the show was at
The West Bloomfield High School,
Right.
I remember, absolutely.
Yeah.
So why did we migrate back to this?
Well, I had the pleasure of speaking with the executive producer and the owner of this show, Patty Narosny, earlier this week, and she had said that after last year's show, she did a poll of all the artists featured in the show about their preference between the high school and this location, and in resounding numbers, they said that they liked this location better, and that, along with the brand new Orchard Lake Boulevard, really opens up the township to this show and to more people coming in for foot traffic here. So it's really got a downtown feel, and you can see that as you walk through the art show.
Absolutely. It's been a real pleasure walking around. Everything's very well laid out. Lots of space for quite a few people to walk at the same time up and down. It has a very spacious, organized feel to me. What about you?
Yeah, and on top of that, you're able to interact not only with the show itself, but with the shops and with the restaurants around the show.
Yeah,
as
very
well.
convenient. Most
It really
definitely.
opens up the entire township. While they're here for the art show, they can also come here for just a taste of West Bloomfield.
Absolutely. And we aren't here alone today. We actually have our very own Jayme Starr. She's been walking up and down, finding some amazing and talented artists so that she can interview and ask some more in-depth questions. So we'll jump over to Jayme now.
I am here with industrial artist Joseph Mazzola. Joseph, how are you doing today?
Good, Amy. Thank you.
Okay, so today you are here promoting your artwork. I see some amazing pieces. How did you get involved with the Orchard Lake Fine Art Show?
How did I get involved with the show? I did the show last year, and I thought it was pretty cool, and I decided to do it again this year.
That's awesome. So you are from Detroit, so you have like the Detroit roots to you. So like what made you want to expand to show your artwork like to different parts of the Metro Detroit area?
When I first started doing this, I was doing small little art shows in clubs and coffee shops and things like that, and I was told by other artists, hey, you should do these big outdoor juried art fairs. A lot more people will see your art. And I did one, and it was very successful, and I decided to keep doing it.
That is amazing. I see your pieces are absolutely amazing. I am like in awe of some of these. And how did you pick like the pieces, and how did you put them all together?
Well, the pieces, when I find them, I find anything that looks interesting in my eye, and then I have just a whole room full of various pieces. And when I start to make them, sometimes I have in my head the entire piece planned out, but sometimes I will literally improvise as I go along, choosing which piece looks good with another piece.
That is so cool. Thank you so much for joining us here in Greater West Bloomfield and at the Orchard Lake Fine Art Show. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Jayme. Lots of excitement out there in this amazing art show. Stay tuned, because coming up, I'm going to have an interview with a very special guest, one of our artists named Lorraine Bowe. Again, I'm Sheena Monnin, and we are coming to you from the 16th Annual Orchard Lake Fine Art Show.
Hello, I'm Lisa Brown, Oakland County Clerk, Register of Deeds. You know to check your credit report, but when's the last time you checked the title to your property? Most likely your home is your biggest financial investment, and deed fraud is on the rise across the whole country. Oakland County is no exception. That's why I worked with Xerox and Google to create our Property Records Notification System. Property Records Notification alerts property owners about potentially fraudulent activity, such as forged deeds and bogus liens. This free service, which is the first of its kind in the United States, makes it possible to receive up-to-date information about a property, making it much more difficult for fraudsters to go undetected. To sign up for our free notification system, please visit ocmideeds.com.
Hello and welcome back to the 16th Annual Fine Art Show here in Orchard Lake, brought to you by Hotworks. I'm your host, Sheena Monnin. We are delighted to be here today. I have a special guest sitting here with me. I have Lorraine Bowe, artist extraordinaire, coming to us from quite a long ways away. Lorraine, thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you for having us.
I'm excited. So tell me a little bit about your first impressions about the show here today.
Oh, I was very impressed today. I was here last year, and so I wanted to come back again. The people I met were great, you know, and they appreciated my work, so I like that.
No, that's fascinating. And you are wearing some of your art pieces right
Yes,
now.
I am.
So one of the things that really stood out to me about this beautiful bracelet is the intricacy of the design.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how do you get metal to look so gorgeous?
Well, this is sterling silver,
Okay.
and it's a process that I taught myself a long time ago when I lived in the Canary Islands over in
Oh, you've
Spain.
had an adventurous life. Wow.
Yeah. So it's engraved, but it's the people understand it as etching. So it's a sheet of sterling silver that I draw and I paint and I engrave out the background, and then I buff it. And some pieces I saw out. And
Oh,
that's
she
my
just
silverware.
saws out on the
Yeah.
metal, right? That's easy, no? Wow, that's so exciting though. So once that's all done, then you shape it to the shape of a bracelet?
Yep. Yeah, I buff it and then I'll shape it. I'll oxidize it first and then I'll buff it and then I'll shape it.
That's gorgeous. So where does the inspiration for these designs come from?
My head lately. It's just what I sit down, I draw, and then that's it. Sometimes I'm inspired by the ocean because I've been in Florida for so long now. And it's just what I decide to draw.
No, for sure. Now
comes to
looking
me.
at this piece, do you remember where this inspiration comes from? There's lots of intricacy there. That's amazing.
Well, I was traveling a lot back then. So it's just a design that I came up with. I have my initials in here, and that's my logo when I sign my pieces. So it starts here, comes here. But a lot of them, I mean, one I did that, I got the idea of a bedspread I had once. I mean, it's just what.
Yeah, it just comes,
Wow,
right?
yeah.
And you go with it. Now you also do other types of jewelry as well. Tell us a little bit about the colorfulness of this necklace.
Oh, thank you. This is silk for pearls. And I use black silk on this one, but it's precious stones. I have carnelian and turquoise and rubellite and a lot of pearls on that. So I use pearls a lot with my work.
Gorgeous, very nice.
And something like this I can wear 6 different ways. And it's really strong because you know they make parachutes out of silk.
Oh, there you
And
go.
all your better pearls are knotted with silk. So that's what I do.
Really exciting. So how much are you looking forward to the next couple of days here as we continue to see so many people flood in, excited to see so many pieces of art?
Well, I'm relaxed that it's finally here because it's a lot of work in preparing for it, and the weather's beautiful. It's really perfect, the weather.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for being here
thank
with us
you.
today.
You're
We really do
welcome.
appreciate it.
Welcome.
Once again, I'm your host, Sheena Monnin. We are coming to you from the 16th Annual Orchard Lake Fine Art Show. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
I often use the cliche, it takes a village to raise our kids. Youth Assistance is here to be a part of your village, along with other experts from the community. You'll start to see these posters go up around the community to remind you to take a few minutes and tune in to our Parenting on the Go series. Find the video links either on Civic Center TV or on our West Bloomfield Youth Assistance website and Facebook pages.
Welcome back to the 16th Annual Orchard Lake Fine Art Show. I'm Tyler Kieft, joined by my co-host Sheena Monnin, and today we are at one of the great annual traditions here in West Bloomfield, back at its original location, or its traditional location, just off of Powers and Daly Road on Orchard Lake Boulevard. There's a lot of unique art pieces at today's show, at this weekend's show, and we've had a chance to go around and observe some. What are some of the pieces, Sheena, that you've seen that really caught your eye?
Well, as you know, I was standing for about 10 minutes outside of this intricately designed sterling silver jewelry booth and was talking with the artist about some of her inspiration and how she's able to make those designs so very, very special. I had a hard time walking away without buying all of them up, but you know, we have to exercise some self-control here and not get everything. But those were gorgeous. They really stood out to me because they sparkled, they looked really elegant. She was using Swarovski crystals. It was very, very impressive. So that's the first thing that stood out to me. What about you? What caught your eye?
Well, on that note, every piece in this show is original and handmade by the artists.
And she was saying her pieces were one of a kind, so she couldn't duplicate them even if she wanted to because of the way the wire reacts to heat and things like that.
Yeah, so every piece here is unique, and one of the most unique pieces we saw some vases earlier today. We saw a small glass vase earlier in our broadcast, and there are larger vases just a little bit down the road from those vases, and they're so well designed and so craftfully sculpted, and
I noticed that.
Nice variety of colors, and that really caught my eye.
I noticed that you're really drawn to the colors. I'm drawn to the sparkles of everything here today. So it kind of goes to show you that no matter what your niche is, no matter what it is that really moves you as far as the visual gorgeousness of these pieces, you can definitely find it here.
Yeah, and also you're open to a variety of art. There's not one type of art. It's not just sculptures. There's not just glass art. There's photography, there are clocks even.
Yeah, there's the clocks, there's pieces of clothing actually.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to go back to some of those booths and ask them a little bit about their artistic designs and what makes their clothing so very, very unique. Lots of gorgeous things here. I see a lot of paintings that are abstract, so you have to look at them a few times to figure out what is it that I'm seeing, and I'm sure each person's interpretation would be a little bit different there as well.
Yeah, and everybody has a different eye, everybody has different elements of the art that they're attracted to, and that's the great thing about a show like this, is there's so much variety that anybody in every taste has something here. And that goes, and when I say taste, I'm not just talking about the art, there's tons of local food here as well.
There you go, very nice. So what makes this show kind of more special than some other ones is the artists are juried. Go ahead and tell us what you know about that.
Well, as far as I know about the jury system, it's a method of measuring the artist's originality.
Yes.
And their ability to create high quality works of art. Patty Narosny and her team work very diligently to make sure that all the artwork in this show is original and unique.
Awesome.
And walking around, you see it.
Yeah,
you see it
can
in
see the
every
quality.
single piece at the show.
Yeah, and I love actually engaging with the artists in conversation because they're so passionate about their pieces. You learn something new, and that's always exciting.
Yeah, that's the great thing about the Orchard Lake Fine Art Show is there is a story in every single solitary piece of art here.
Yeah, I love it. Great. Are you inspired to pick up a paintbrush and go to town on some canvas, Tyler?
I am. I don't know if I'll be able to match the great quality of all the paintings here, but I can certainly try.
Oh, that's fun. Well, we look forward to seeing what you come up with.
It'll be interesting. We're gonna go out into the field to our field reporter Jayme Starr, who is with another artist. Jayme?
Thanks, guys. I am here with Boris Kramer, an artist that is actually not from Michigan. Boris, where are you from?
Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
Oh my goodness, Pennsylvania. How did you get involved with coming to Michigan for an art show?
There's a program online where it shows a top number of shows in the United States, and this is ranked as one of the best shows in the U.S. So I applied to it and got in, and that's why I'm here.
That is awesome. Is this your first time in Michigan?
No, I've been to Michigan many times. My dad started in the early 70s, and he used to do the Ann Arbor Art Show, and so I've been coming as a child and just enjoying art, and he retired, and I took over, and so now I'm continuing his work and doing my own.
That is so cool. I love some of these pieces that are surrounding us right now. Tell me about some of them.
Well, the pieces are all one-of-a-kind pieces. My dad started as a blacksmith, and then he started forging the metal, and rather than making a railing one day, he came up with a sculpture, and from there he decided to go into art full-time. So each one is handcrafted. These ones are made out of flat material, and then some of the other materials I also work in is round bar, and I heat the metal and then basically beat it on an anvil.
That is so cool. Like, I love also some of these giant pieces. Those must take you a very long time to do.
Generally, they're about 2 to 3 months when somebody places an order. They're fabricated pieces, so very much like a tailor putting together a suit. I take flat material, heat it, bend it, twist it, weld it, and then grind off the welds, and it allows me to make very large sculptures that are not light, but they're much lighter than if they were made out of solid material.
That is so cool, Boris. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today, and back to you guys.
Thank you, Jayme. We're going to take a short break, but when we return, I'll be sitting down with Diane Perry. Diane is a weaver, and she is presenting her art pieces in this art show this year, the 16th annual Orchard Lake Fine Art Show. We'll be back with that in just a moment.
Mental health disorders are serious and treatable conditions. Isolation, loneliness, and changes in behavior could be signs that someone you know is suffering from depression. Learn how to recognize when family or friends are in crisis and what you can do to help. Mental health does matter. Contact the Resource and Crisis Helpline with your concerns at 1-800-231-1127.
Welcome back to the 16th annual Orchard Lake Fine Art Show. I'm Tyler Kieft, and I am joined today by Diane Perry. Diane, you are a weaver. Where are you from, Diane?
From Northwest Indiana, little town of Wanata, and the village is Florida.
And is this your first time at the Orchard Lake Fine Art Show?
No, I've been doing this show maybe 5 or 6 years now. So it's been a good show for me.
What do you enjoy most about presenting your art at the art show?
Well, my art is different. Each piece is individual, and people like to have something that you don't go to the store and buy. So it makes me feel good when people appreciate it too. I start with yarn, and there was a time when people that come to the art shows didn't realize. They would ask me, where did you buy your material? And that it's sort of gotten across to them now that, you know, you do make things from scratch.
So you weave all of these scarves by hand?
Yes, I have a loom. I have a 60-inch loom, and I can weave anything from, this is a 12-inch scarf, and I can weave up to the 60 inches.
So for something like this piece, you said it's a 12-inch 12-inch scarf. How long does it take you to put a piece like this together?
Well, since this is also patterned, it's quite time-consuming, and this is done at 36 ends per inch. And then the pattern is woven in also, which is the tie-up from your petals to your parts that go up and down. And it just turns into a beautiful piece. You know, people, some feel that it's too pretty to wear, that they'll use it for a table runner, to where more people can enjoy it.
Yeah, one thing I have noticed about this particular piece that you have here with us is the intricacy of the design, the tiny designs you have throughout the entire scarf.
Yeah.
It's different at each section too. So
Yes.
it's not the same design across
Exactly.
the entire scarf. You got something different in every element.
That's what makes it unique. So.
And how do you piece together something like this? What planning goes into making a scarf?
Well, actually, the planning now can be done on computer, and then it will tell you which needle to put your yarn through and which tie-up to use. So it's taken a lot of the work out, but there's still a lot of work. But you can plan this out on a computer to where you can see what it's going to be with the colors that you add in.
So this is obviously a very fine and intricate piece that takes a lot of a great attention to detail.
Yes.
Take us through a little bit of your process for putting together a scarf like this.
Well, you start by measuring out the yarn on a warping board, and then from there it goes to, you wind it on the loom, and then you feed it back through the heddles and through the reed, tie on, and then the weaving starts. And then that's also one shuttle at a time. And it's very time consuming, but it's very enjoyable. Once the loom is threaded, it's very enjoyable.
So one thing that really sticks out, we mentioned the colors and the variations of design across the scarf, but there's those transition periods, such as the transition here between purple and blue and near your shoulder between
Well, this
green
is actually dyed afterwards.
Really?
So the basic colors were the blues, and then I would add in a dye, you know, the pink, and there's yellow, different colors added. It just makes it unique.
So yeah, and those colors kind of fade from one to the next. How do you, with you dyeing these after you've designed them, how do you make that fade happen so finely?
Well, it just happens with the water. It just takes it. When you dip it in, different levels will take different shades of the color. So.
Well, thank you very much, Diane. Is there any other place that we can find more information on your weavings and art pieces?
Well, I have a Facebook page, but it basically shows a little bit of my work and then where I'm going to be showing my art.
Wonderful. Well, she'll be showing her art all weekend here at the Orchard Lake Fine Art Show. We'll be back in just a few minutes right here on Civic Center TV.
Hello, I'm Lisa Brown, Oakland County Clerk, Register of Deeds. You know to check your credit report, but when's the last time you checked the title to your property? Most likely your home is your biggest financial investment, and deed fraud is on the rise across the whole country. Oakland County is no exception. That's why I worked with Xerox and Google to create our Property Records Notification System. Property Records Notification alerts property owners about potentially fraudulent activity, such as forged deeds and bogus liens. This free service, which is the first of its kind in the United States, makes it possible to receive up-to-date information about a property, making it much more difficult for fraudsters to go undetected. To sign up for our free notification system, please visit ocmideeds.com.
Civic Center TV is your home for everything Greater West Bloomfield. Here you can tune into community programmings such as our weekly news magazine show, The Splash. The Splash covers positive stories in our community, such as our segment, Person of the Week, where we highlight someone in our community that is making a difference. We also cover events and meetings for Kego Harbor, Sylvan Lake, Orchard Lake, and West Bloomfield. You can watch all of our local programming online anytime at civiccentertv.com, Comcast Channel 15, and AT&T Channel 99. Civic Center TV, television that is close to home.
Hello Hello and welcome to the 16th Annual Orchard Lake Fine Art Show brought to you by HotWorks. I'm your host Sheena Monnin along with Tyler Kieft, and we're having a really great time here today.
Yeah, it's a really fun event. It always is, and it's back in its traditional location on off of Powers and Daly Road, just off of the Orchard Lake Boulevard. And it's really got a downtown feel again, and it's just brought that element of excitement back to the art show.
No, most definitely. It's a really convenient location. It's a beautiful day. I've been wandering around earlier, taking a look at some of these amazing pieces of fine art. These are all juried artists, meaning that they are extra special. They had to go through a whole process just to be here. And they're not just from local as well. Where else are they coming from?
They're coming from all over the United States. We've had artists already that we've talked to from Florida. We talked to artists from Indiana, and they're repeat guests because this is such a high quality art show. It's one of the top 100 juried art shows in America, and for a good reason. I mean, everywhere you walk in this show, you're going to find a great piece of art or something very fun to do.
Yes, I was admiring some of the knickknacks that I saw earlier. I even saw some really intricately carved wooden handles on everyday types of utensils that you would have around your home. So a nice twist on that, really bringing some class and some style into your kitchen or other areas. Lots of artists as far as painting. We have oil painting, we have watercolors, all kinds, right?
Yeah, and everything at this show is handmade and absolutely 100% original by the artist themselves. So you know that somebody is putting a lot of time, energy, and creativity into each and every piece.
That really does make a big difference. It's a great use of our time here today. Well, I'm really excited to be here. Don't go away. I'm your host, Sheena Monnin. We're here at the 16th Annual Fine Art Show here at Orchard Lake. We'll be returning with a very special guest, Patty Narozny. She's the owner and executive director of this fantastic event.
Parents, you have a say in what video games your child plays. Purchase age-appropriate games that everyone in the family can play. Be sure to look on the back of a video game or online for the rating. That rating tells you the type of game content your child is playing. Have a say in what your child plays and learn the rules of the game.
Hello and welcome back to the 16th Annual Orchard Lake Fine Art Show brought to you by HotWorks. I'm sitting here today with the owner and executive producer of the show, the very own Patty Narozny. Patty, thank you for stopping by to give us some of your time.
Yes, of course. Thank you so much, Civic Center TV, for supporting the show. We have a beautiful day for the art show today, and beautiful artwork is here that you're not going to see at any other Michigan shows.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really excited as I've been wandering up and down, taking a look at the variety that we have here today. Now, as someone who is very, very familiar with art, can you speak to some of the different mediums or types of art that we have here?
Yes, there's various forms of discipline, including sculpture, clay, glass, jewelry, wood, fiber, paintings, mixed media. I'm sure I'm missing something.
Wow, that's so exciting.
Digital photography are new categories.
Wow, there you go, nice. The energy is really high here today. You must be so proud of this event.
Yeah, the energy is great. I must stress that all work is original and personally handmade by the artists in the show, that it's juried by art professionals who have an art education and they know what they're doing. So for the public out there, jury does not mean juried. They have to know what the goal behind the event is and who is doing the jurying.
Oh, interesting.
Yes.
Lots of ins and outs there.
Yep.
Most assuredly. Now, we have some local artists. We also have artists from different parts of the country. How far away are we having artists come in today?
They're from, I think I counted 33 states out of the 50, including California.
Wow, that's so exciting.
Yeah, so the reason we have artists who are not at other Michigan shows at the Orchard Lake Fine Art Show is when Michigan tanked back in 2008, something like that, the recession. I went out of state, and we have 3 shows in Florida, in downtown Boca Raton and in Estero, Florida, now in Fort Myers. Those are also top 100 art shows in the nation out of several thousand other art shows. So I bring many artists to Michigan because of our Florida shows and because they know I'm going to keep it a high quality show where all work is original and personally handmade, And then we're going to bring the people to come out and purchase the art. Yes, there's a lot of high-end art here, but the purpose is something for everyone. I was one of those kids that had artworks taken away from them in a Catholic school, and my father being an accountant, being an attorney, so I really wasn't exposed. Now I am. But we want to have something for everyone starting at $25 so people can start appreciating the original and personally handmade art.
Wow, that's very impressive. I've just been really enjoying our time here today. Really great turnout, lots and lots of talented artists. We're very excited.
Yes, we're 16 years now, 10 years in a row, top 100 in the nation. And we love working with West Bloomfield, and we appreciate Civic Center TV's support of the show. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Great. Once again, we've been speaking with Patty Narosny. I'm your host, Sheena Monnin. Don't go away. When we come back, my co-host, Tyler Kieft, will be sitting down with our very own Chief Patton.
Do you know of an interesting story or someone who deserves to be recognized for doing amazing things in the greater West Bloomfield community? The segment Person of the Week off the weekly show, The Splash, is the perfect platform to highlight everyday people whose contributions to the community oftentimes go unnoticed. Here at Civic Center TV, we are always looking for new, exciting, and inspirational stories. If you know of someone, then contact us at thesplash@civiccentertv.com, and maybe someone you know will be our next Person of the Week.
Welcome back to the 16th annual Orchard Lake Fine Art Show, back in its traditional location off of Powers and Daly Road, just off of the brand new Orchard Lake Boulevard. I'm joined today by Chief of Police Michael Patton of West Bloomfield. Mike, thank you for joining us. I'm fine, how are you?
Fine, thank you.
This year's show, it's back in its traditional location. How has the Orchard Lake Boulevard impacted West Bloomfield just in general in the last year?
Well, it's a gateway location or entrance to the township. I actually think it's broadened it and made it much more attractive. And of course, we've already noticed that traffic moves off the northwestern corridor and through the Orchard Lake area fairly well and efficiently. So the design is working out so far, and we're very happy with it.
Yeah, and this was a project that was several decades in the making from the Road Commission of Oakland County. And one of the great elements about this is how it does make traffic flow in the northwestern corridor so much more effectively. How does that impact driver safety, particularly coming into West Bloomfield?
Well, some decisions they made back as far back as the 1970s impacted the overall traffic movement here in the township. And as you mentioned, that this is a culmination of many decades of planning and organization and fundraising to eventually get this corridor open so the traffic moves more efficiently through the area.
And with that, we were able to get more people efficiently to this art show here. This is something that is an ongoing tradition in greater West Bloomfield. And what do you see as the overall impact of a show like this in our township?
Well, look, an art show brings, brightens up the township. We're very proud. You mentioned this is the 16th year that we've been here. So it's a very attractive thing. This is a world-class art show. And we're very happy to host it here in West Bloomfield. And it's really one of the things we look forward to every summer.
And the police department is always involved in the Orchard Lake Fine Art Show in a variety of ways. From a police department standpoint, seeing all these people coming into our township and from all over the world and all over the state, coming to West Bloomfield, do you see that it attracts people to our township after the art show and before the art show as well?
Well, we're very happy just our little downtown area, if you want to call it that, here in West Bloomfield, that it does bring people in, and while they're here, they have an opportunity to also visit other shops, stores, and restaurants, and they'll remember those locations, and eventually, hopefully, they'll come back and revisit us again.
That's one of the great elements of this boulevard, is that it's really up to the interaction between the community and businesses, between our neighboring communities and West Bloomfield itself. It's really been just a fantastic element to our township, and from a safety standpoint, it's got to be something that has improved the police department's ability to keep our township in safe running.
Well, I think when people come into a community, one of the things they notice are the conditions of the roads. And again, road funding has always been an issue here in Michigan, and they're getting more and more, it's getting better. So all the roads we've done, people complain about conditions of the roads, and I'll say we suffered through road closures and repaving projects and reconstruction projects for the last couple of years, just not only off of Orchard Lake, but also across the whole Maple Road corridor, all the way from Middle Belt going all the way out to Haggerty Road. Well, all those sections of road are now open. So all roads are in great shape. All roads are coming here today, here to the art show here in West Bloomfield.
And of course, the police department's able to see the before picture, the during, and the after. Looking back to before all these recent projects that have been completed in our township to now, what, from a public safety standpoint, do you see as the big improvements that are happening in the township?
Anytime the roads are in good shape, and of course the roads get redesigned, and we get a little bit better at thinking about how traffic moves. Traffic safety has an impact on that. So we're hoping with the way the roads are designed, the widening, the different turns, and traffic signals, that overall safety will be improved. So with fewer crashes, hopefully, is one of the outcomes.
New and improved roads and a new and improved art show back in its traditional location right here off of Powers and Daly Road in West Bloomfield Township. Chief, thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you very much for being here today too. Thank you.
You're welcome, Chief. We're going to go to Jayme Starr out in the field with another artist. Jayme?
Thanks, guys. I'm here with Ken Mydock, another artist here at the Orchard Lake Fine Art Show. Ken is actually from Port Charlotte, Florida. Ken, how did you find the Orchard Lake Fine Art Show?
Patty Narozny, who manages this show, does a lot of shows in Florida all winter long. So I've done quite a few of her shows in Florida.
That is awesome. Have you ever been to West Bloomfield or the Detroit area before?
I graduated from Wayne State University, so I was pretty close to here. This is the first time I've done her show here in Michigan, though.
That is awesome. Patty is a really, really nice and awesome lady. So how have you been enjoying your experience at this art show?
Well, if you'd arranged the weather better yesterday, it rained off and on all day while we're trying to set up. That's a little troubling, but today looks great, and the forecast for tomorrow is the same thing. We're supposed to have sun and 80 degrees, so.
Yeah, nice and beautiful. So
get all your citizens out here to look at all this fine art.
Yeah, so tell me about some of your pieces, like what is this made out of and stuff like that.
Most of the stone that I carve are from overseas. This one happens to be from Tate, Georgia. This particular marble is called Cherokee. That's also a native stone here in the U.S. That's a honeycomb onyx from Utah. And that's a Colorado marble from Ewell, Colorado. But most everything else is from overseas.
And I can see every piece is beautiful and one of a kind.
Absolutely one of a kind. Couldn't make a copy if I wanted to.
That is awesome. Thank you so much, Ken, for hanging out with me today.
My pleasure.
Back to you guys.
Thank you, Jayme. So many amazing artists out there that we've been able to talk to today. I'm your host, Sheena Monnin. We're here from the Orchard Lake Fine Art Show, the 16th year that this has been going on. It's been such a fabulous event so far, and it's being made even more fabulous by our next special guest. We have Greater West Bloomfield Cable Commissioner. We have Deb Macon here with us today. Thank you very much for stopping by.
What a treat. It's been just a pleasure to come every year, see so many wonderful artists, but even more so, see all the great folk who decide that being in Greater West Bloomfield is the best way to spend their weekend.
Yes, absolutely. Now, rumor has it you've been here every single year?
Why miss an incredible Greater West Bloomfield treat? It's about quality of life, it's about community, and having specialness right here in Greater West Bloomfield.
I love it, and you look gorgeous today, as always. I love the bright colors.
Well, thank you. Yes. What a perfect day for it.
Yes. So what do you have your eye on here today? You've been able to wander around a little bit.
Oh, this is easy. I love jewelry, and I'm going to be looking at some of the really cool jewelry booths, and I have to go home with at least a new pair of earrings.
There you go. I think your husband would probably agree with that. You have earned it.
Absolutely, more than that, yes.
Most definitely. So as you walk around, you know everyone, right? How exciting is it to run into people that you see maybe not every day, but every once in a while, and to really see the community come together?
You know what, it really does mean a lot. And I do have to say, my first stop is always the community tables, because our library, the Cable Commission, and Civic Center TV, with the police department and parks, we always have our usual spot in the main aisle. So I have to go by and see everyone there
I'm
first.
glad that you mentioned that. I don't think it's been mentioned so far today, and that is important.
It's a must, yes. The community organizations and institutions and those who support them and lead them are always here every year. We have such broad collegial support.
That's so wonderful. Thank you. Now, have you had a chance to taste any food yet today?
No, but I came at lunchtime.
Oh,
so
you're smart. Yes.
Absolutely. So that's going to work out really well too.
Wonderful. So besides the jewelry, is there anything else that's caught your eye? There's a lot here today.
Well, yes. There are several fiber artists here, and I happen to have a special fascination for hats.
Oh.
And there's always someone here that has wonderful hats, so I must go by there.
Well, we are very excited to see what you walk away
All
with.
right,
I'm sure the artists will appreciate it too. Once again, we've been talking with Deb Macon, community cheerleader and extraordinary citizen of Greater West Bloomfield. We'll be right back. We're going to head into a short break. I'm your host, Sheena Monnin. We are here at the 16th Annual Orchard Lake Fine Art Show. Don't go away.
Mental health disorders are serious and treatable conditions. Isolation, loneliness, and changes in behavior could be signs that someone you know is suffering from depression. Learn how to recognize when family or friends are in crisis and what you can do to help. Mental health does matter. Contact the Resource and Crisis Helpline with your concerns at 1-800-231-1127.
Welcome back to the 16th Annual Orchard Lake Fine Art Show on Civic Center TV from Powers and Daly Road, just off of Orchard Lake Boulevard. I'm Tyler Kieft, and I'm joined by my co-host, Sheena Monnin.
Yeah, great. I've really enjoyed today. It's been very inspiring. Every time I have the opportunity to be around quality artworks, I feel there's a part of the creative spirit that gets awakened in us. How do you feel?
No, I feel the same way. What we do every day is an art form, and what all these artists are doing is one too. And it takes passion, it takes creativity, it takes a lot of skill, and that's the one thing that really pops out to me, and I know it's popped out to you too. It's just the skill and intricacy it takes to go into all of these unique art pieces.
No, most assuredly, and each one is unique. That means there's not another one out there like it, right? And it's not like you can go and get a cookie cutter of the same thing, and I really appreciate seeing all of those intricacies in the artwork.
Yeah, every single artist here has something unique, and every single piece that they have brought has something unique to it, and it's all original. You're not going to see any pieces here that have been bought and resold or bought and modified. Every single piece of art at this show is made originally by hand by the artists themselves. So you have that reassurance that when you walk up to a booth to buy a piece of art and you talk with someone about it, you're talking to the person who made it with their own two hands.
That's fabulous. Absolutely great. We've seen all kinds of things from jewelry to, you interviewed someone who had a scarf on, like weaving. We've seen glass works. It's been really quite impressive.
Yeah, it's been exceptional. All these pieces here are just so finely made, and there's so much heart and passion that goes into each and every one of them. And it's obvious whenever you take a look at these pieces and hold them in your hands that somebody put their life's work into this.
No, for sure. And this show is just the 16th year. We're going to come back next year again and again as the show continues to grow and the artists continue to come back and share their passions with us.
Yeah, and another great element of that is it's back in its traditional location. It's back just off of Orchard Lake Road. We got all the shops in the heart of the township, in this town center district, and it really drives people back to the art show, but even on top of that, it drives them back to West Bloomfield.
Yeah, absolutely. So if people are interested in the specific art show, where can they go online?
If anybody wants to find more information on the Orchard Lake Fine Art Show, they can go to hotworks.org. That has information on this year's show, next year's show, and every other Hotworks show around the country.
Wow, absolutely. Well, thanks so much for co-hosting with me here today.
It's
We
been
appreciate
a lot of fun,
it. Yeah, it's been a great time. Once again, we're coming to you from the 16th Annual Orchard Lake Fine Art Show, brought to us by Hotworks. Really appreciate you being here with us today. I'm your host, Sheena Monnin, and we'll see you next time.